Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Guess what? It's test week, yep. Which means 2 tests for me, and I'm just about to take on the bike test. I've not long been home from work, and then I've got a run test later on this week. No CSS swim test for me because of the shoulder and that issue I've got going on. So without further ado, let's get to the video and let's get a sweat on. So today it is the FTP test, and I'm not expecting to hit great numbers. You know, we've just come out of off season, so numbers are expected to be a little bit lower, but that doesn't mean I'm going to try and give it my best shot. Now the good thing is I'm not going to be doing this alone. I am going to be doing it on Zwift online with my teammates in the adapted community, the adapted endurance community, and coach is going to be online as well, talking us through it. So yeah, I suppose that's a good thing. I know that a few of the teammates have already done it. One did it at 6 AM this morning. I mean, that's pretty good going considering, you know, you haven't eaten, you're fasted and that sort of thing. So yeah, fair play to that one. Right, I'm going to get on, get set up and, well, like I said earlier, get the sweat on.
Set up the winter period, and then obviously when we look to see how well winter's gone, and as we move into spring and some more perhaps high intensity training, then we'll certainly look to retest to see if the winter period has had any effect on FTP, and then we'll reset zones again if we need to before we move into that block of training.
So we're just on the warm-up now, which is probably about 20 minutes or so, no, 25 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer before we hit the main 20-minute segment. Phil is on Discord talking us through some bits, which is helpful. Got a minute left of the warm-up and then we are into 20 minutes of hell. I can't
After all, it is that effort that counts. We can reflect on it, we can look at the numbers, but ultimately, you did your very best, and you can be proud of that.
That is the FTP test. I can't even speak. That is the FTP test done. One word, purgatory, all the way to hell and back. I don't think it went particularly well, to be honest. I think I pushed too hard, too soon. But, you know, it's where we are. And in the past I've ridden those a lot better, a lot more controlled. I've not done one in ages. I think it showed tonight. But anyway, that's the FTP test done. We'll move on and I'll catch you on Sunday now. Morning everyone, welcome to Sunday, and this is the second fitness test for me this week, or a run test, whatever you want to call it. Still fairly early, just heading out over to Victoria Park to take on a 10k, because I've chosen to do this as part of a race to try and get the best out of myself. So before we head up there, I've just got some pre-race thoughts that I want to share with you. I'm not exactly sure what my run fitness is doing, although I do have some idea. I have been running, you know, I have been training, although nothing is certain, and I have probably a run figure or a pace figures in my head which I think I can do. Now the problem with that, well, there's two problems actually. One, if I set a pace figure and I kind of stick to it and run to it, then I potentially am not getting the best out of myself. And the second problem is I could set a figure that's too fast and then I just go off like a bullet, and something that I can't sustain for the whole duration of that race. And that just boils down to me really trying to judge this whole thing through effort. Right, enough talking, let's get up to the venue. I'm going to drive up to Stratford, park there, walk to Victoria Park, it's not too far, get a bit of a warm up in, that kind of thing. Race is until 10 o'clock, so we've got plenty of time. So, I don't know if you can hear me with the wind, but this is not great running conditions as I walk over to the race venue. So, yeah, well, it is what it is. So we're about 15 minutes from race start. The half marathon is just about to start. I've just done a warm up. I'm just going to get my last few bits of clothing off and get ready. I'm not going to set the camera obviously because I'm going to be running quite hard and a bit difficult to film and that kind of thing, so I will catch up with you after. So just walking back to the car, and you can see how windy it was for that. So it wasn't the best conditions, but it went alright. Hopefully you can hear me on this. It went alright, considering where we are at this point in the season. I think the course was slightly long. Everyone made it long, about 0.2 long. For the 10k I think I come in on under 44 minutes, so I'll look at it all, my splits and everything when I got home. I think I went a bit too conservatively, if I'm honest, too early on. But we'll look at it and we'll analyse it when we get home. Now, I've had some weird things happen to me when I'm running. I've nearly been hit by a tree. Today I was nearly killed, well killed, but hit by a squirrel. Squirrel must have been up in the tree and the branch must have snapped because it came falling down and landed literally about a foot from me. So that would have been interesting. I don't know why all these weird things happen to me when I run, but... Oh, and if you're wondering about the squirrel, unfortunately I think it was dead. Yeah, it was hardly moving. Poor thing. So I'm all back home now, I'm showered and I'm just about to have something to eat. I'm going to plonk you down there while I can see my laptop, because I'm going to finish up this video just by doing a quick summary of the outcomes from the test in the week. And I'm just going to start with the run test because that's obviously the most prominent one. And it was 43.58. So at this point of the year, I'm not too disappointed with that. And when I'm looking at my splits, first one went off, you know, quite a good pace, but the rest of them were between 4:20 and 4:30 a kilometre, and then the last two were at 4:15. So I probably went off, or I probably run a little bit conservatively, but yeah, I mean it's fine. I'm happy with that, you know, at this point in the season. And just going back to the bike test, which was earlier on in the video, I think it was on Thursday. And I finished that test and sort of said, well, I'm not sure that went too well. It wasn't too bad, actually. Considering my threshold, it was 2 watts under the last test that I did, which was some time ago. So, again, yeah, you know, where we are. And that's a good thing about having Phil, because, you know, you've got someone to bounce these things off and put things into perspective. Because, like he mentioned, the fact that, you know, we had a very unproductive end to the season. I didn't race. I've not raced since the beginning of July. And to be in this sort of shape at this point when we've not really been training properly, it's okay. Yeah, so that's where we are. Now we've just got to build because we've got a good... I'm not going to tell you, but I've got a good race lined up in March next year. And... yeah, that's the video for this week, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed checking in and keeping up to date with things my end. If you're new around here, do hit the sub button because it is always appreciated. And a big welcome to any new subscribers that have joined recently. Right, I'll see you very soon in the next one. I can't stay.